What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful Sunday afternoon or morning whenever you are watching this video or whatever time frame you're at. I hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful day here. But this will be another upload on the historic potential nor'easter for the northeast mid this week up to the end of this week as well. It's going to possibly bring up to 2 to 3 feet of snow for big cities like New York City, Philadelphia, Scranton, Boston, Hartford. Those general areas are really looking at a potential historic snowstorm, and this has not happened in a while. I really can't think until really Jonas a few years ago. So this is going to be a quite historic storm here. Take advantage of it as La Nina pattern will start to kick in next month. So really enjoy this historic snowstorm, bring snow all the way up from the Appalachians and the Carolinas, all the way up to portions of Maine, and even all the way west to Ohio. So it's going to be widespread to impact millions of people here. Dangerous eyes, flooding, severe weather, and of course potential feet of snow there on the ground, not just for mountains but big cities here. Before I get the video, please subscribe if you're new as well, especially if you live in the Northeast. I would consider subscribing, as I will be talking about this all the way from now up to Wednesday, and I'm gonna have maybe 2 uploads every day, or at least I'll try to have on this storm here. But without further ado, let's get on the upload. So here's looking now at the National Weather Service right here. As you can tell, this storm that's going to bring in feet of snow in the northeast here actually is bringing snow currently, and it's bringing snow all the way up here to portions of the south central. So it's not going to be necessarily the same snowstorm, but it will be the same low pressure that brought the snow in the south central here. It will convert into rain for the portion of the southeast, but once it goes into the higher elevations in the Carolinas and Virginia and the Appalachians, it will start to convert back into snow and bring in feet of snow, extremely heavy snow, as this nor'easter will be absolutely crazy, and probably looking at a bomb cyclone possibly that's going to bring an extreme amount of snow all the way up the east coast here. So it's going to be a long track storm here, but as of right now, this low pressure is bringing snow across big cities like Oklahoma City as well here. Back-to-back storm for this general regions here. Oklahoma City has now been issued up to a windstorm warning now. Areas like Elk City ended, Ponca City, Alva, Woodward, and Gage. You guys are not getting your heavy snow as we speak right now here. Now heading for areas like Arkansas. Arkansas as well now has some windstorm warnings here. All the way south to Mena, Little Rock. You guys are probably going to get a few flurries. It's going to really stay kind of the Ozarks there. Harrison, you guys as well getting some interesting amount of snowfall, probably over half a foot there. And we still have windstorm warnings now as far west as Dodge City, Garden City, Liberal, up into areas in southwestern Kansas, and then even as far west as well as the far western county of Oklahoma. We are still seeing a good amount of snowfall there, but right now the worst of the snowfall is now near Oklahoma City, Tulsa, those general areas in Oklahoma right now, as that rain is starting to convert into snow here. But we do expect the storm now to go down all the way up the east coast here, so we'll bring in quite the heavy rain on Monday and Tuesday throughout areas to southeast, and then right here is where it'll start to convert to snow in the Appalachians, and it's going to bring snow as far west as areas like Indiana. It's going to go like that. So it's going to bring some snow as well for Indiana, Ohio, areas off the Ohio River, and also going to bring some snow out here for the Appalachians. So it's going to bring snow for basically these general areas right now. It's going to kind of bring snow for these general areas as well, all the way up here basically is where it's going to bring some snow right here. So it's going to be quite a crazy storm here. It's going to be a very widespread storm, let's just say, that impacts millions, not just in the northeast, but Ohio Valley and the southeast. But without further ado, let's check a radar at where the storm is right now. So here's like now what the storm's bringing right now. So this is of course bringing the heavy snow general in the Oklahoma City there, bringing some really heavy snow so far for Tulsa. And there's that rain starting to convert into snow. This is kind of the freezing line. Anywhere below this freezing line is going to be 33, 34, 35 degrees, where it's going to be very chilly rain. And then north of that will be 32, maybe some 33s, 31s, and then up to the upper 20s there near Kansas. But we are going to be seeing our heavy snow right now coming in through areas like Oklahoma City. It's going to be very heavy, let's just say that here. Still see that moderate snowfall in areas like Oklahoma and western Oklahoma, and as well in the northern half of Texas, which is why we still have those advisories and warnings for those areas, even though it has kind of passed by. And then by later on, Those snow showers will really start to fall apart by tomorrow. In areas in Arkansas, we will have some scattered areas that can be very heavy snow, as these temperatures really will be very harsh to get below freezing once we go more into Monday. So we will have some scattered areas in the Ozarks, especially the Ozarks there, northwestern Arkansas and southwestern Missouri, where we could still see some really good amounts of snowfall, even though the rain will be surrounding it quite frequently and quite really rapidly. I guess that rain's going to really become a big factor in a matter of a few hours once it moves into the eastern half there of where this track will go. These are kind of snowfall totals left to come. So we only have really a good, anywhere from the trace to 3 inches there for the little kind of tip portion of Oklahoma there. That, I don't know, man. It should be part of Texas. I'm not sure, though. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, as well, areas like Amarillo go 1 to 2 inches left, but some scattered areas south of Amarillo could see a good anywhere from 3 to 5 inches left to come there. Oklahoma City, since this is really the worst of the snow, is just a few hours away. You guys have not really seen much of your snowfall, so you guys are still seeing a good amount of snowfall left to come, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches there. And then, of course, like I just said, we're going to have some scattered portions that can see very heavy snowfall waves, and that's going to happen as well west of Oklahoma City and east of Oklahoma City there, and it's scattered 7 to 10 inches of snowfall. I mean, this is quite crazy. This has already happened a few weeks ago in Oklahoma. And then east of Oklahoma City, they have really yet to see any snowfall. It's kind of really coming down right now. It's kind of really coming down. There's like Tulsa there, Miami, Oklahoma. You guys right there, anywhere from 7 to 10 inches of snowfall. So this is kind of crazy there. All the way down to areas like Gainesville, Texas, on the border there. We are looking at a good maybe trace to an inch, so that's still pretty interesting as well. And some scattered areas to the south where we have those warnings as well in our advisories. And then we have those warnings in the upper Ozarks, 7 to 10 inches is possible. I mean, that's when you think of Arkansas, you don't think that much snow, but really, it's been a crazy year so far, and this is especially for weather. But in the next 84 hours, by Wednesday, we are going to start seeing the snow showers developing there in the Ohio River. So could actually see some snow, surprisingly, for like Indianapolis, another snow wave for Cincinnati, even some more snow near Paducah and Louisville. And then could see some snow as well for Lexington. But it's going to be very light. Could see some slight accumulation, maybe less than 4 inches there, but that's still very good there. And there you go. There you see that snow really developing quite quickly there in those higher elevations by later into Wednesday. You're going to see some very heavy snowfall, actually. It's going to be very heavy at some times. There's some scattered waves of just heavy snow. It's going to be help accumulate faster. That's going to be for like Cincinnati. That's going to be very interesting there. Going to be seeing almost the whole state of Ohio getting some snow there. I mean, that's going to be very interesting. There's like Columbus. You got maybe getting less than 2 inches. I mean, still something. But really, the worst of the snow will actually be in the southern half there in the Ohio River for southern Ohio and southern Indiana, right on the Kentucky border, which really didn't happen too much. And that's really what's going to come in handy with that La Nina pattern there. But then we have a La Nina and El Nino pattern with this snowstorm. I mean, bringing an extreme amount of snow in the south central. Then bringing a good amount of snow in the Ohio Valley, which seems to be La Nina. And then bringing feet of snow in the northeast, which tends to be El Nino. So really a bipolar storm here. But now let's move later, closer to Thursday morning. This is like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. This is why these temperatures will really help bring this heavy snow. The low pressure now goes off to the coast, and that's low pressure zone right here. That means that snow will will actually move more to the east. The further east the low pressure goes, the further east the snow will go, because it's all following that low pressure there. So we're going to be possibly seeing whiteout conditions for areas like western half of Virginia, areas in much of Pennsylvania here near Greencastle. Going to be seeing some big ice threats here for areas like the DC area, Baltimore, looking at some big ice threats. Still seeing snow for areas in the Ohio Valley, and then we're going to start seeing some very heavy snow developing on Thursday morning early for New York City, New York, Trenton, Philadelphia, all the way up into areas like Syracuse and Long Island. And it just gets really just worse as we go more into Thursday here. This is like Thursday, really mid-morning, late morning here. It's going to be a mess for the tri-state area. A big mess as well. So looking at blizzard conditions here for areas like DC, Baltimore, especially for areas like far western Maryland and far southern Pennsylvania, like Greencastle, looking at extreme amounts of snowfall. And still see some moderate snow for Pittsburgh, heavy snow as well for areas as well into the northern tip there of Virginia near Alexandria, stretching all the way up to areas like Syracuse, Albany, all the way up to Boston. Some heavy snow for New Haven, Providence, all the way to Foxborough. And then by late, now kind of I guess say early afternoon on Thursday, it just gets way worse at this point. The snow starts to really pick up for Baltimore and Dover. It's going to really pick up for actually areas like Atlantic City. The whole state of New Jersey is going to get snow from this, and you don't really see this amount of snow for the coast. But of course, 2020 has just been a very odd year when it comes to weather, and this just does not surprise me. Seeing the whole state of New Jersey to get extreme amounts of snowfall, like Atlantic City, New York City, Newark. Extremely heavy snow, some pockets there near Scranton, the Poconos, Allentown. Going to be seeing some very heavy snow for all Rhode Island, much of southern Massachusetts there. And then it should move out now by Friday. But this is going to be a very historic snowstorm. I mean, look at how heavy that snow will be in these general areas. I mean, this is just a matter of probably 3 to 4 inches per hour. I know that sounds crazy, but that is definitely realistic. The temperatures and surfaces will be there to help accumulate very quickly. We're going to see some big ice there as well. That ice can help make roads more slick, allowing the snow to stick faster. I mean, this is going to be a massive and historic snowstorm no matter what model we look at. GFS and European are both agreeing agreeing. Other big models like CMC are also agreeing, and the NAMs, we will see what they have to say in the next 24 hours, as they still are not allowed to go past 60 hours, and this is obviously more than 60 hours away. But let's take a look now what the GFS shows. So let's take a look at the GFS here. This is the next, this is the next 78 hours this is Wednesday here. So like I did say, you're going to start seeing some ice threats and snow showers developing in the Appalachians all the way to the Carolina region. Raleigh, Charlotte, I'm sorry, you guys are going to really miss out. It's going to kind of stay in the western half there. Like I've been saying, the western half of North Carolina will get snow. The central and eastern half, I'm sorry guys, it's your typical La Nina winter. It's going to be quite boring. You may see a few flurries in Charlotte, a few flurries in Raleigh. It's going to really stay really limited though. And there's you get another wave there. There's an actual low pressure. The actual low pressure will be going over Indiana there. And then they're just going off the coast here. That's going to help bring in very heavy snow. Now there is the low pressure all the way up off the coast now quite quickly. It's a very fast moving storm. So if it was slow moving, this could bring in 5 to 4 feet of snow. So good thing is it's a fast moving storm. But the fact that it's so fast moving, it's already bringing 3 to 4 feet. I mean, that's so crazy. And you can start seeing that snow, of course, by Thursday, early in the morning, like overnight, into like New York City. It's going to start very light, and then just in a matter of few hours, it'll drastically, just the condition would drastically change. I mean, DC, you guys are going to get from very severe heavy rain to heavy snow whiteout conditions in a few minutes. I can guarantee in a few minutes, it's going to come from severe weather all the way to very heavy snow. So we have seen that before, and we saw in the last snowstorm there in the Boston area. It was really heavy rain, and then it quickly converted into very heavy snow in a matter of minutes, maybe around an hour. It's going to really change here as really the kind of freezing line's very close here. It's really heavy snow there, and then heavy rain there, and then there's that freezing line. So this is exactly why we could see this really pan out. But based on GFS, we're going to be seeing a lot heavier snow for areas like DC. There it is, a very heavy snow, potential blizzard conditions, because we will be seeing some very strong winds, because this is a nor'easter again. This is going to be a nor'easter, so we are going to be seeing that strong onshore influence that's going to help not only bring in maybe some big waves and slight storm surge, but also very strong winds there up to maybe 30 to 40 mile-an-hour gusts with that heavy snow for areas like Philadelphia, Trenton, Allentown, in Baltimore. You guys are going to have a wintry mess here. This is going to bring in way more snow than you guys saw the whole season last year, and then we will have some scattered snow showers in the remaining hours after this low pressure moves out here. But Maine, you guys are going to really miss out on the storm here. For once, Maine has a taste of their own medicine here of actually what happened last storm. They took all the snow from areas like Boston, take all the snow there from Connecticut, and there it is. Now it's Connecticut and the New England region to take their snowfall back. And the coast, it's hard to believe that the coast might actually see the most amount of snowfall in part of these storms here. Definitely is a crazy storm here. But let's take a look now at the snowfall totals. So the European has had a quite big increase in snowfall totals. And it's really these numbers. I know I would love to get this amount of snow, but people that are used to the snow just don't like this much snow. And it's hard to believe that people hate so much snow, but once you get this every single year, it gets tiring. I understand that. But look, snow all the way from areas like Cincinnati, all the way from Evansville, all the way to Nova Scotia. It's going to be a long track storm here. And you can just see as the low pressure goes further off the coast, it's going to be more and more severe here. But let's take a look now at areas that don't get talked a lot about forecast. So let's talk about as well Ohio and Indiana. We can't forget about those states here. 1 to 2 inches there for Columbus. It's going to be very limited. But look at that, 3 to 4 inches near Cincinnati. Like I just said, we could actually get a good amount of snow, maybe more than what you guys saw with Dane, surprisingly here. 2 inches to 3 inches near Evansville. That's quite interesting. Maybe an inch for Indianapolis. All the way up to maybe 2 to 4 inches there near Youngstown. But let's take a look now. Pittsburgh, 4 to 7 inches, really. The best bet is 4 inches, like I said, with a few comments. But areas south of that, a few counties east, it's going to be completely different story there. Near State College, where Penn State is in the middle part of Pennsylvania. 22 to 30 inches of snowfall. Charleston going to really miss out as well in West Virginia. 2 to 5 inches there. Going to be maybe 4 to 5 inches in southeastern Kentucky. But it's really changes right here in the Appalachians and Virginia and West Virginia when it really just blows up here. DC, looking at a good maybe anywhere from an inch on the eastern side to just north of DC could possibly get up to 8 inches. So it's going to be right on the DC line where we see no snow to just north near a foot. And that's exactly what I'm saying. It can go from heavy severe weather to extreme snowfall in just a matter of minutes because they are right on the line. Like areas like Baltimore, kind of on that line too. DC, Alexandria, you guys, where you guys are going to be seeing that near 8 inches of snowfall there based on where you guys are located. But I mean, definitely looking at a good amount of snow there for DC, especially the GFS. The GFS really shows a lot of snow there for DC. Baltimore, looking at maybe anywhere from 5 inches in the metro area. Just north can get up to 14 inches. So like I said, you guys are right on that line. There's a lot of big range of the snowfall because we're so far out. It's not that models don't agree. It's just because they're right on the line there. But it's really easier to give snowfall totals like areas like Lancaster, looking at get 20 to 25 inches of snowfall. Philadelphia up to maybe 16 plus inches there. And up in the Poconos, you can see well over 30 inches of snowfall. And that's just crazy to think about there. Areas in the far western Maryland area can see the same totals there. Greencastle could be the bullseye of the snow. New York City, 17 plus inches there, but just to the north of New Jersey, the northwestern half can get up to 30 plus inches of snowfall. Areas near Albany, gonna really miss out on the worst of it. Still gonna get maybe a good 6 to 8 inches of snowfall. But areas near as well, New Haven, 20 inches of snowfall is possible in New Haven. Yeah, New Haven, Connecticut, on the coast. On the coast, the whole state of Connecticut can see over 20 inches of snowfall. And that is just absolutely crazy to think about there. The amount of power outages with this store is going to be crazy. 20 plus inches there for Hartford, 16 plus inches for Pittsfield, 14 plus inches there for Boston, based on the European, all the way up to 6 to 8 inches there on the coast there of Massachusetts. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And the GFS has kind of limited snowfall for these areas here. They kind of have limited towards the east, but they're still really green here. And like I did say, they're showing a lot more snowfall for the DC area. Let's see. Let me find that square there. So they're showing anywhere from 5 to 8 inches there for DC. So definitely a lot more snow there for compared to the European. They also show a lot more snow for Central Virginia there near Richmond, 1 to 4 inches there. European really showed nothing for those areas here, so that's kind of hard. That's really the one thing they're disagreeing on. But they're also, GFS is taking the worst amount of snow way more to the east here, like areas near Greencastle, areas near State College, only 7 to 10 inches. Areas near the Poconos, instead of 30 inches, looking at only maybe 6 inches. So there's a lot of difference here. The European tends to maybe overreact a little bit, but of course they are the most accurate snowfall model. So really, we gotta see who's under forecasting, who's over forecasting here. So that's exactly why you can't show just one model. You gotta show various models. I will start to show the NAMs, but it's still too far for the NAMs to actually get this far. Up to around 10 to anywhere from 14 inches there for New York City there as well. Looking at 14 to 16 inches in northern New Jersey, 20 plus inches there near Lancaster, Harrisburg, 16 plus inches there for the northern tip of Virginia. I mean, it's going to be a big wintry mess. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Fins up, and I will see you guys later this evening, hopefully.